Okay, I've got this Frodo and Sam pre-con deck. I get the idea not a lot of people care about me talking about this, discussing the changes, because it's just a pre-con, and I've only added cards from Lord of the Rings, nothing from the standard Magic sets, because I want it to stay Lord of the Rings, and I want my regular decks to remain Dominaria, Revenue, whatever they are. I don't want to mix the Universes Beyond with regular sets. That's just an arbitrary decision I've made. Anyway, what I've noticed is I've made some series of changes to the deck, and it feels like maybe I got my mana base off. So I'm going to show you how I check my mana base. Also, while I'm at it, I want to work in Weathered Wayfarer as a part of the ramp package. So of course 1 for a 1/1 human nomad cleric, 1 tap, search your library for a land, any land, doesn't have to be basic, I can find Minas Tirith with him. Put in your hand, then shuffle. But it only works if an opponent has more lands than I do. And I also want to put in Minas Tirith, comes in tapped unless I control a legendary creature. Of course this deck is really heavy in legendary creatures, so that's not a problem. Unless I get it, I need to cast on turn 1, which again, coming into play tapped is not a problem. Tap pad 1, 1 tap, draw a card. Activate only if you attack to 2 or more creatures a turn. That, usually I only attack with Frodo. So I'll have to, this is going to force me to rethink the way I play the deck. Because I'm going to want that draw trigger. I'm going to want to attack with more than just 1 creature. So anyway, I could just take out a Plains, right? Could just jam into Plains and go to town. Well, let me make sure. So here I have 5 lands that produce any of my colors. Murmuring Bosk almost always comes into play tapped because I think I'm down to just 1 tree folk, only Treebeard, Gracious Host. So I've got, and this comes into play tapped, this almost always comes into play tapped, that comes into play tapped. So 3 comes into play tapped lands right there, but they produce all 3 of my colors. So let's put those there. Then I have I have 6 lands. So this is a special ability land, so it kind of counts as colorless, kind of not, because the reason it's in here, of course, is to make something unblockable. Access Tunnel, the same thing. It's really a spell land. It's in here to make a creature unblockable, but since I will be tapping them for lands at some point, I have to count them, so those produce colorless. This, if I've already got all my colors, then I don't need to land cycle this, and it would produce colorless if I played it. Odds are I will land cycle it, but I'm counting it as a colorless producer. Same with Shire Terrace, which is basically an Evolving Wilds for Lord of the Rings. Not Evolving Wilds, yeah. Exotic Orchard. I should count this with my colored mana, but it's not reliable. There's been plenty of times where, say I'm just playing against a 1v1, a quick 1v1 with a cube, or waiting for the other lads to show up. If he's playing his Eldrazi deck, or his blue-red deck, this produces colorless effectively. So I have to count it as colorless. Ghost Quarter. I've never activated to destroy a land. Destroying lands feels bad, so I don't want to do it unless it's something that nobody can really dispute, like a Gaia's Cradle, which none of my friends are playing. I'm the only one that has Gaia's Cradle. I'm the only one really running Cabal Coffers Urborg. So this is the kind of thing that I would expect them to play against me. But anyway, so there's 6 mana, 6 lands that produce colorless, which is pretty heavy. And then I have I only have 2 that produce black and green, even though the deck is heavily green and black. It's more white-black, but I'm going to check that. So I only have 2 lands that produce black and green specifically. I have 4 lands that produce black specifically. I have 3 lands that produce black-white specifically. Let me take a drink of water and I'll use this to prop the cards up. I have 4 lands that produce white specifically, and I want to put in 1 more. Again, I could just take out the plains from Minas Tirith. It would probably make sense. It's how I worked the Shire in. I just took out a forest to put the Shire in. But let me make sure that's what I want to do. Perhaps I should take out something that produces colorless, such as the Ghost Quarter, because I haven't taken it out because of the idea maybe I will want it at some point. But since I haven't used it, perhaps it's time to take it out. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 green-white lands. So green-white is very heavily represented among the lands. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8 green producers. One of the reasons that green is overrepresented is the ramp package is all green. Unless I stick that weathered wafer in, the ramp package is all green, so I want to make sure I get green early so I can cast Cultivate, Farseek, Rampart Growth, what have you. So that's the land package. Let's take a look at the creatures and count the pips. This is what I do to kind of get an idea of where I am with the lands. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I have 30 green pips, not counting the commanders. That would be 31 with Sam. So I have 30 green pips. Let's see how many black ones I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 black pips. So 30 green, 14 black. So that indicates that my green-black ratio is about right. I don't need many other green-black. I will keep 4 swamps. That's probably about where I need to be. So let's count the white pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 29 with Frodo. So the deck is more white. So perhaps it's almost equal to the green. And as you can see, with 4 plains and 7 forests plus the Shire, so I have twice as many forests as I have plains. So that's skewed. That does not reflect the deck. But then again, I have 6 green-white lands, and I have 4 that produce any of my colors reliably. Of course, that hurts me, Murmuring Bosk, if I get black or white. So it looks like my white is a bit off, and I shouldn't just take out a plains for the Minas Tirith. I should probably take out a colorless producer, if not the Exotic Orchard, although I do love it. I love the art. I like the quote. So one of these should come out. These two, the way the deck is starting to work is my creatures are going to quickly exceed that, unless I just force Gollum to stay at 1 or to stay at 3 because of Flowering of the White Tree, if I just do not put counters on him. This is something I've cut before and put back because I realized I need multiple ways of getting all my colors. Same with that, but they both come into play tapped. So those are considerations. Exotic Orchard, I'll just keep it as a pet. But Ghost Quarter, I don't think I need the Ghost Quarter because my opponents really aren't playing that many lands I'm worried about. The only land that I've seen lately that anybody might want to destroy is when Q plays as Eldrazi and he's got a Homeward Path. But since I can't steal any creatures, I don't care about Homeward Path. It'll give me my creatures back. So what I'll do is I'll take out Ghost Quarter. For Minas Tirith. So I'm upping the white count by 1, which may be insufficient still, but it gives me another white. So all in all, I believe I have 37 lands. Let me just double check. Yes, I have 37 lands, which this deck is pretty low to the ground, so that's fine. Now let's take a look at how to get the Weathered Wayfarer in there. So the deck does have 4 board wipes. It feels like it's too many, but sometimes I don't draw one when I want one. So maybe 4 is the right number. I definitely don't want to take out any ramp, any of my mana rocks. I could take out the field-tested frying pan, but I want to test it more. I want to see if it's actually any good. I haven't played it enough, I haven't drawn it and cast enough to actually see if it's good or not. There are no creatures that have really shown themselves to be subpar. So there are no creatures I really want to take out or see as a need to take out. Definitely not Boromir. Boromir, one of the little combos I have is Samwise Gamgee and Boromir. So sacrifice Boromir, all my creatures become indestructible till end of turn. And Samwise, sack 3 foods, return target historic card from my graveyard to my hand. bring back Boromir. So that's a little combo I like in the deck. Gandalf is nice. He's been a great addition. But what to take out? Probably Crypt Incursion. It always sits in my hand. Again, similar to Ghost Quarter, I've only kept it in there because I have the worry about not having anything to deal with any kind of graveyard decks, any kind of graveyard shenanigans. Given the kind of games that I would bring in for Frodo and Sam, nothing high power. If the genie is playing Amanatu, a cube is playing his Eldrazi deck or his Sliver deck, I wouldn't bother with Frodo and Sam. They can't stand up to that. To be fair, they have beat Eldrazi once because they came out very, very quickly. The deck just worked, and he got mana screwed. But that's an outlier. So Crypt Incursion, exile creature cards from target player's graveyard, gain 3 life for each card exiled this way. Now, this is good with all the life gain stuff in the deck, but usually I just sandbag it. Usually I just sit on it. But I'm kind of concerned that if I take it out, I will have nothing to deal with graveyards. So let me set that aside and we'll see what else there is. This is just fun. I just liked it. And again, for example, let's say somebody has 4 creatures in their graveyard, which is not unreasonable. So I do a Cryptic Incursion. I gain 12 life by exiling 4. I don't know, in about 10 minutes. Why?
Because Mommy is just, making me read a lot.
Well, you need to read. You need to learn to read. Reading is good.
Yeah, I am reading a lot, and I know how to read.
Well, you need to practice at it to get better.
Okay, so you'll read done in 10 minutes?
Well, the longer you come out and have me talk to you instead of finish, the longer it's going to take.
Right. Okay.
Alright, keep reading.
Yeah.
Reading is fun. Reading is tech. Okay, anyway. So, exile 4 creature cards, gain 12 life. Sacrifice this, create 3, 12, 12. What to take out? No creatures. Okay, so I get a treasure token out of him, but that's again life. Which is kind of what the deck wants to do. Sheriff. He's actually been effective before. Lobelia has been effective before. Haven't really played with her much. This is going to be tougher than I thought. This is the very top end of my mana curve. I mean, if you were watching, it goes, a lot of 2s, a lot of 3s, up to 5 with Gandalf, no 6, no 7, then bang! Woodfall Primus for 8! Jesus Christ, but, so he's the second tree folk. I actually have 2 tree folk to show people to get that Murmuring Bosk into play untapped. Do I want to take this out? It will destroy land, so it kind of makes up for the loss of Ghost Quarter. I better keep that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 pieces of targeted removal. 3 for creatures specifically. 1 for anything but a land. 1 for creature or enchantment. So I've only got 1 way to deal with 2 ways. Woodfall Premise and Anguish Unmaking to deal with artifacts. Revive the Shire. What resets? Dawn of Hope. Probably the Dawn of Hope is the best target. Because whenever I gain life, usually there's other things I want to cast. There's other things I want to do. I've had this in play before and often I just don't want to spend the 2 mana to draw a card. I rely on Frodo. So if I've been tempted 3 or more times, two or more times, sorry, then I get to draw a card. And if I've been tempted, he's my ring bearer, then I draw a card for him, and then I draw a card and discard a card for the rings effect. So that's what I rely on for card draw more often than not. And there's other ways to draw cards in here. And then creating a random 1/1 soldier with lifelink. They get wiped pretty good, and I don't have the mana that often to go that wide. So I'll take out Dawn of Hope for the Weathered Wayfarer and see if this is the right change. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. So that's how I review my mana base for my decks, is separate the lands into the colors. What can produce what colors, what can produce only single color, what can produce nothing, or what is unreliable at producing anything. And then I count the pips. So I make sure that whatever color has the most lands available to support it, and whichever one is the least is the one that I don't worry about too much. So let me get this uploaded and we'll start the discussion. Let me just flash these up here while I'm turning off the camera. End shot. Or do you want to see the cat? Do you want to see the cat? That's Max. Max is our fluffy shithead. Max! Max, say hello to all my friends online. Okay, fine, screw you, Max.